What's up, guys? It's not your normal intro. Kind of just so focused on getting this right. So there was supposed to be a vlog where it showed the install for the brake line tuck. Unfortunately, I messed up and I ended up giving Josh the wrong line size, well, the wrong measurements on the inside lines in the firewall. So kind of got depressed yesterday. Yesterday was just a terrible day. Nonetheless, moving forward, got some cool parts in, and I just want to install this motor today. So again, it may not be your typical vlog to where I'm introducing it the same way. I kind of want to start to switch it up too. It's always like just me, hey, what's up, guys, and then I get to work. So Seb's going to control the lift. We're going to get this motor in, and we're going to start to see how everything looks. Again, I know I do sound weird today. It's because, like, you know, when you have something, you know, you think is going according to plan, and it just does like a full, you know, 180 on you. That's the moment I'm at right now. But enjoy this vlog. We're finally going to put the motor into the AK-47. All right, now. All right, guys. All right, so, all right, guys. Yep, all right, guys. All right, so, okay, boys. You got something to say, 40?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to place my motor basically in this position here. I'm going to put this lock on for a second to talk to you guys. I ended up loosening both motor mount brackets, so the passenger side and the rear Myers lean bracket in the rear of the subframe. The rear subframe motor mount bracket. This is all loose. I want it to be loose because I don't want this motor to be fighting here, that corner, and then the transmission. So everything should be just going according to plans to where it's a smooth transition of all the bolts lining up. Now the way that I do that is I usually just run my motor mount brackets loose and then I go from there. So Seb will end up controlling the lift now, and we'll begin to see how easy this is. We're good, buddy. Drop it. So now, since I don't have a radiator support, this is much easier. So I get to be all inside the engine bay. So in a second, Seb will move over here once I tell him to stop. So basically, I'm just trying to get within the distance. Let me unlock this. So far, so good. I'm not going to touch anything. And stop right there for a second, Seb. So, give or take, I have the motor within the right vicinity of where the motor mounts are going to be. So what I'll start to do is I'll just move the motor back and then just start to see how everything starts to line up. So if this is not going to have any friction on it, you know what I mean? If it's not going to be fighting each other, then we'll go from there. So I'll move the motor back a little bit. Try to be real careful with this firewall side. Well, not firewall, frame side. So I need to move over up a little bit more. And that's about right there. So let me lock this side. Let me see how this is going to, see? I'm almost there. I just need to move up a little bit and I make my contact. So, all right, let me put this bracket in here. Let me put this, this mount. Big shout out to Frank Downstar, awesome hardware, everything lines up, everything is clean. So now I'm just gonna lightly thread this in here. Now again, this bracket is loose, but that's fine because I can just take this out and then tighten the bracket from one side and make sure I'm in the correct area. So next is this guy here. Watch it, Sub. Well, check this out. So every time you're installing your motor mounts, it should be this effortless. Again, if you're using like a pry bar and you're moving stuff around, honestly, man, you're gonna have a difficult time. That's it. So basically, right? This motor mount is in. Now what I want to work on is that rear motor mount, which is leaned this way. So Seb will cut it, and we'll make sure we have our right measurements, and then we'll be right back. So this back bracket is in a neutral position, and this is where it ended up mounting. So it's basically far right, but everything threaded in nicely. See that? Everything is just threading by hand. So right here, I'm give or take exactly where I want to be. I'm not touching the car. The motor mount lines up pretty decent here. I can probably still push it over and get this to turn straighter. But now, this should be on the money. This bracket, this motor mount right here, this solid mount, should fall right into place. What a jinx. I got it stuck because of the tape. Cut. Okay, so this motor mount, I need to just move this way, and I can adjust that motor mount to swing it that way. But I was really concerned about that rear bracket. It's money. I ended up locking in those 14s. And now I just slowly and cleanly have to just move this motor mount out of the way. Well, about a cunt here to the left. Let's see. Universal measure. Let's get all the scratching now. Let's get all the scratching out of the way. And make sure I can get this tape out now before I end up locking in this bracket. Okay, so now I gotta get that one out. And there's a little tape there. It's probably what's making it a little too snug. So what I'll do is, it's inevitable. We're gonna get scratches on the car. It's inevitable, folks. Let's get this blue tape out of the way. Put that there. Slowly peel it off. Put that there. Okay, so now it should be much smoother without the tape. Which it is. So I'll get this on here. The old nut and bolt, guys. We all know about that factory spot welded 17 always comes off. Okay, that's in position. So now the car needs to go down a little bit, Seb. Just a little touch. A little touch. Go ahead. Good. Right there. Okay. So now, you gotta swing. You see how we off right here? It's very hard to see. I'll be able to control it right here. That means that the motor's too much this way. So if I swing this back, it just moved. Does that line up? A little bit more? A little bit more. Your battery's about to die. Let's go. If it dies, it dies. See that? Oops. If you're wondering why I'm doing so many adjustments, it's because you don't want a bad drive line on your axles. So if everything is not falling into place, then it's no good. See, I'm almost there. I'm there now. Again, the name of the game is patience. Name of the game is patience. You have to make sure that especially with a car with this much horsepower, you want to make sure that nothing is fighting anything. So what I'll do next is I'll start to snug up on all these bolts, and then the motor should be in. We'll remove the cart and go from there. We went over every bolt, everything lined up beautiful. Now just tightening these last few, and this motor is basically installed. That's it. This motor's in. We ended up tightening that bracket on this side, and the motor mount started to shift. So what we did is we left this here set on tighten, then I just tightened the back nut here. But this motor's in. Let me lift it up. So from here, basically just get rid of the cart, take that off. Big shout out to Tato Bien. This thing, I mean, it just literally fell into place. We didn't have much to do, but just set up the brackets and the motor mounts. But that's it. From here, we can, we could just start, adding stuff on. I can put the catch can, start setting up the lines, put the header in. I can still get to the bulkhead for the brake master cylinder. Yeah, just keep trying to progress forward, put cool parts on, and go from there. Check out these brakes from my boy Tom at NRG. So I ended up selling my KS tuned ones, then I picked up the strange setup with the NRG Tech bracket. It's like basically, this weighs probably like 4 pounds, guys. This is nothing. So it's a pretty nice setup. It's gonna look really clean on the AK. So we'll put those on soon too. But yeah, finally the motor's in. This could have been in a long time ago, but there was a lot of stuff that had to go, ahead of it. Pause, but it looks beautiful in here. Boy, Tato Bien freaked it with the hardware. Dude is amazing. Ended up calling up Frank from Downstar and ordering bolts for this cart. It's really special, man. Feels great to have support of people like that, genuine people, good, clean-hearted people. Amazing people. Thank you so much to everybody that always, shows love, sends gifts, stuff like this, It's highly appreciated. Let this cart kind of rest like this. Now I have to be careful on this side. So, and this cart is not for sale. Everyone wants to buy my carts. You have to go through him. It's kind of hard to give away a gift. So, Seb, you're probably gonna have to forget it. I'm just being a big PU. Probably the worst deinstall of a cart ever. This thing's heavy though. This thing's got some girth on it. Oh my God, Jesus! Don't move that. Whoa. Heavy duty. There it is though. Motor's in. Let's see how these axles are gonna line up. Looks like it's gonna line up pretty good. So what we're always worried about is that axle line here, to make sure that the axles are not like cocked or anything, because you don't want that kind of fighting. But man, looks money. And I'm using I'm gonna use RSX Type S axles. I ditched the 5.9s. They're way too heavy. Kind of can get away with using the stock axles on the car with this power. Some people should almost 1,000 horsepower on stock axles. Again, everyone's different. Everyone's setup is different, but man, those OEM RSX Type S or 06 to 11 SI axles, them things are badass, man. Things got a little crazy, guys. We honestly just put some music on and forgot to record a lot of footage. So clutch line here, just trying to find a nice clean routing. Most likely it's going to go through here, nice and neat. Bend over here. Pause on the bend over. Put the header on. We don't have our gasket on. Just wanted to see how well it's going to do with that gold tape that Seb had set up. Wow, that line's nice, Sebby. Look at that. I can make a nice little bracket here to hold it. But it looks good. So, Seb ended up putting some gold heat reflective tape here. We ended up finishing up the Strange brake system from NRG Tech. Swapped over the straight for a 90. Cleaned all that up. Got the billet line holders from Finishing Lines. Great. Like I said, yesterday was kind of like a shitty day, and today much better. Can you believe Instagram blocked me from going live, collecting badges, getting new subscribers, getting monetization off of Reels, because I reshared a gunner's post that had a water gun emoji in it. So, guys, if I lose this appeal and you don't see me on Instagram going live, I'm in jail till June 15th. Free me. Free me. Free me. But yeah, we made a lot of progression today, man. Seb did a great job helping out. We got the axle situation perfect. You guys remember that time I was telling you about I didn't know if the lower control arm was bent or not? It was actually the subframe was shifted over to the passenger side a little too much, so it was fighting that lower control arm. So now, check this out. Okay, so the last subframe, I'm assuming, was too far that way. It wasn't centered, right? So it happened again just now. And what I ended up thinking about was it was never the control arm, it was never the axles, it was basically me installing the subframe wrong. Well, not installing it wrong, but not calculating that it shifts and moves left and right. So this was giving me and Seb an issue of going in. And when we would turn, it would bind up because there's too much pressure against the axle. Now, look at this. So now, it's able to go in nice and smooth. Before, we used to have to fight it, right? So I got it to basically no binding, and it drops right in. So, also had to think of, if we shifted it over this way, what happened to the other side? Check this out. No binding, absolutely nothing. Drops right in, even easier. Falls right into place. So guess what? The whole time when I was racing the car, the whole time when I was trying to chase records and whatnot, my subframe was shifted basically too much this way, which was allowing the lower control arm to be short. So, I mean, this car is probably going to run way better. Because before also, when I was turning the axle, it was binding up. Because there's so much fighting going on between the ball joint and the lower control arm. But thank God we figured it out. So, if you're ever in that scenario and you might, it's so hard to bend this lower control arm. If you're ever in the same scenario as me, loosen up the subframe. I mean, don't loosen it to where there's 2 threads left, but just loosen it up to where you could see it move. And when you install this ball joint or this axle, just make sure you have this kind of play. If it's binding in the middle, because that is the longest point, that's your issue. That this arm is probably too short. It needed to move over. So now look. Before, we'd have to use a pry bar to try to get everything to line up. But RSX Type S axles, passenger and driver, that's all settled in. Put our line on. Again, we got miscellaneous stuff. I ended up nut-serting here so that we can put our traction bar. Big shout out to K-Tuned. Big shout out to my boy Sean. He sent me a brand new traction bar, so that's going to look nice and clean. He also gave me a gift for one of you 9th gen guys. I am one of 5 in the world with it. I don't know how to give it away. Now, the only reason I haven't shown it to you yet is because K-Tuned is waiting to get their patent on this product. If you can give me a suggestion on how to give this product to a 9th gen owner, I want to hear your suggestions in the comments. I really want to give this thing away. They also gave me a bunch of shift knobs. Sebby, look. They gave me a blue, silver, red, black. Again, I don't want to sell a gift. I don't want to sell it to somebody. I want to gift it. I just don't know exactly how. I don't know if I should throw it into... Oh, by the way, tomorrow is our pre-order for our varsity jacket. So maybe I can throw those 4 shift knobs in to 4 random gunners that pre-order the varsity jacket. This is a one-off drop. This will never be retroed again. You gotta check it out. I'll put it on my community post on YouTube, and it's on my IG right now. It's made to order. Order 1 size up. It does run a little snug. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. I never do pre-orders. Never. But I don't want you to miss out on this chance, because if I would have made 47 into only 3 colors, a lot of you would be real pissed off at me. The same way you were mad at the Gump trucker hat. I'm not trying to get anybody upset. You have 47 hours to pre-order the varsity jacket. So that's tomorrow, 6 p.m. It ends at 5 p.m. Sunday. So I know the content has been off a little bit. It's because, like, you know, we kind of been going like ups and downs with parts getting here on time, and then me messing up, and then Manolo. I'm so nervous about trying to make it to Lime Rock, but I'm not trying to ditch the AK-47. But again, sorry for this long clip. Hopefully this is some kind of content, something for you to enjoy. I love you guys. Me and Seb are going to clean up and we're going to call it a day. I think we did more than enough today. And God is good. Thank you all so much for supporting. Keep going.